Hi, everyone. I'm super excited to welcome you to this edition of Credo's webinar. In today's edition, we'll be talking about getting started with low-code and no-code payment products. We'll first start from looking at what exactly is low-code, what exactly no-code is, and then we'll talk about payment links, payments button, product pages, and then we'll now look at some of the standout features and benefits that we have for all of those things that I've highlighted. And then we'll now sort of look at some of the product use cases that you can use it in real life products that you can use to apply whether it's your payment link, your payment buttons, or your product pages too. So I'll first start from what exactly is low code. Now, when you sort of look at it from one angle, you'll say that low code itself is sort of like putting together different things and turning it into a full-fledged platform, but writing the minimal amount of code possible. So instead of you starting to write, say, JavaScript, or say Flutter, or say React or Vue or Angular, or any of those languages, you begin to use visual interfaces to sort of do drag and drop. So platforms like, what's the name of this? Platforms that allow you to do drag and drop, but then you're not able to do minimal coding to sort of join them together and reach like a finish line to get the kind of results that you're sort of looking for. So if you look at this sort of dashboard that we have here, so you drag this widget that has this pie chart, and then you also put a widget that has this total amount of money budget, and then you also have this is an histogram, and then you have this different cards here. So sort of putting them together and making all of this show like this is sort of you putting together low code. Of course, you can do them with coding, but low code platforms allow you to be able to put all of these things together without necessarily writing a lot of code. And then we now get to what exactly is no code. No code is sort of, you do not require any coding at all for that. So for no code itself, it means that the software is, you're sort of taking together, you get a prototype, you get to launch that prototype, and then you now get to iterate and edit those prototypes from and iterate to get the sort of end results that you want. So you're taking together and then you're not coding at all. And then there are a lot of no-code platforms that you have in the world, right? There are a couple of local platforms. And then you now look at, okay, so you're sort of not a developer or even a developer, and then you quickly want to get something up without too much stress of back and forth, of having to sit down and having to write your code from the ground up, having to put together all of those things. Low code allows you to basically with few drag and drop left and right to be able to sort of make it happen. And then no code also allows you to be able to make it happen. But how do you now, you have this no code platform or this no code platform, or even your code platform, you have built it. How exactly do you now receive payments from what you have done? The first one here is what we call payment links, right? Payment links is really a way for you to ask customers to pay you without too much stress. So you give them a payment link, so it can be embedded on a page, it can be embedded in a button, it can be embedded in an image. It's just an hyperlink. And then once you get the hyperlink, your customers, once they click on it or they visit that link, you can share it as many times as you want, through as many channels as you want. And then once they get that link, you are able to get paid through this payment link. And then I will still show you shortly how you can sort of navigate through and be able to create your own payment links and see how it works shortly. The second one is payment button. So, I mentioned that for links, really you determine where you sort of want to put your links. So whether you want to use an image to be the link, or you want to use a text, or you want to use an icon, anything. But for button, it sort of allows you to generate a buttons that you can sort of use in whether it is your website or your app or anything really. And then once you generate that button, you're able to you can, so when somebody clicks on that button, of course, I think we know what a button is. It opens up a payment flow and you're able to receive payment via that button. And we'll get to a short demo shortly. And the main thing is that when you look at low code and no code, it really depends on your skill level, and it really depends on your skill level and where exactly and how fast exactly you want to get something done. So no code is, like I've said, really simple to no code, all right, meaning that you do not really have to code. It's just small coding here and there in order to achieve your results. With no code, everything is drag and drop, meaning there's no code at all, right? And for low-code itself, some of the things that I found interesting in local platforms is you see your drag and drop interfaces. You see your what's it called, instant mobility, meaning that once you move a component or a part of the text away, immediately it moves along with you, so you can sort of see what you are doing. And then there's that security, and depending on the local platform that you are using, is also scalable because most of these things, they are usually built on the cloud. So meaning that you can take it and then you can scale it to whatever point that you need it to get to. For no code itself, you sort of now have data connection, meaning that you can connect whether it is a contact form, you can connect it to MailChimp or Aweber or Active Campaign, all of those platforms. You also have like a super nice user interface builder, meaning that you can sort of see your different user interface and how it all links up in the grand scheme of things. You also see workflow modeling, meaning that you can sort of model your workflow and see what happens when you change something as it goes. And then, of course, local platform also give you reusability, meaning that you can have one component that you can sort of reuse in multiple places, right? And then you also get amazing reports and analytics. Both of low code and no code platforms, they offer most of the similar feature sets. It's just you just have to look at what you're trying to achieve, right? To be able to determine which of them exactly will serve the pain points that you are looking to serve. And really, in the end, both of them have low development costs. So meaning instead of you having to get a developer or multiple developers to come and sit and then spend a lot of time trying to build, whether it's an MVP or trying to make things happen, with no code and low code, it's really easy for you to try and fix something or change something. There's a super low development cost, and they also create, whether you're a business person, you can just do proof of concept to see how things link up together with little to low programming knowledge. and it also sort of provides you with the, what's it called, independent platforms for you to, whether you want to export out your code sometimes depending on the platform you are using, or you want to connect your domain or connect your subdomain. You are able to make all of this thing happen using low code and no code. Now I'm going to show you, before we talk about different use cases, right? Let's just do a quick demo of how exactly low code and a quick demo of how low code and what's it called? Low code and the other one, and no code. How you get your things like your payment button, your payment links, right inside of whatever platform that you're using. So give me 1 sec. I just want to drag my screen. Okay. All right. So this is Credo Central's website. And at credocentral.com, you're able to, whether you need to create a payment button or a payment link to receive payments for your business, whatever part of the segment of the market that you are in. Now you're a developer, you're a product manager, you are a program manager, and you're trying to get something done, you're able to do it through the intuitive dashboard. So just before this meeting, I've just created a quick account, right? To sort of do a short demo. So this is my account and I'm inside my dashboard. So I've just logged in, and just to be clear, so I went to credocentral.com. And then once I got there, on top here, I was able to see login. So I just, of course, if you've not gone through the website before, you can take a moment and sort of see that apart from making payments happen, we are really, one thing that we really power is to power social payments by making payments happen on your social platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter via comments, right? And then you could look at all of that. But back to the focus of today, looking at, this is your dashboard. So you can see a lot of all of these helpful tools. You can see the intro video, the best way to can understand what exactly is social payments. You can sort of refer a friend. But what I'm really aiming at today is we're looking at this on the menu. On that commerce, you can see products, which is exactly how you are able to add your products to Credo and then use our commerce tools to sort of power your payments and make that happen. But I am really more today because our focus is looking at payment links and payment button. So I'll just go to payment links. And then yeah, you can see your payment links. You can share your links with your buyer anywhere. So I'll just go ahead and you can see a export here. I can also import, I can export all transactions. I can import all transactions, but I want to create a payment link. Now, at the moment, I can only create a one-time payment. Because I cannot create a subscription payment link, I would not try to do that, but I will try to create a one-time payment link. So let's say my business, I sell consulting, right? With my consulting service, as you can see, Geek Store Office is we consult for people that want to I want to build houses in Yaba. So Yaba House Consulting. And then for my service, because I can leave it open-ended, meaning that you as whoever is coming to this my payment link can enter how much they want to pay. But because the service has a specified fee, I charge 10,000 naira for the service. And then I can add a description saying that this is the Yaba House Consulting service. Please book a month in advance. Payment confirms booking. Thank you for your understanding. Now, I just put some form of description there. And then under more options, you can sort of see that I can customize what I want the link to be. So let's say I want my link to be now. And then the interesting thing is that you can also add more fields. So let's say for this, I want to collect house address. Apart from the customer name and email, I also want to collect house address. I want to collect agent ID. And then I go ahead and create link. Now, as you can see, I can see here that the link, the name of the link I just created is Yaba House Consulting, is a one-time, this is the amount, it was created on this date. I'm able to edit it, I can share it, and I can turn it off. So I'll just, and you see the share dialog opens when I want to share on Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, or LinkedIn. Since I'm on my phone, on my laptop, I'll just copy this. And then if I go to a new link, I can see that the URL creditcentral.com/pay/Yaba House. I can see the description that I have put here. I can see the name. Now I can see a slide toggle that also says what? My house address and the agent ID that I added when I was creating the payment. So if somebody wanted to pay me without needing to have a website, right? Or needing to have anything, what I just need is a Credit Central account or a credit account. And I just come here, I say Sadiq Babalola. My email is sadiqbabalola@gmail.com. I put my phone number, the amount is not editable. I put house address. Once I click on pay, I am able to pay. And this just opens, and so once I pay, you are able to, so let me even try and pay with one of our test cards. So because my account is still a testing account, I can sort of use a test card to pay and make that payment happen. So I'll just go to the documentation and go to test cards and get a test card here. And then sort of try and use it to make payments. Now I make that payment. Now my payment has been successful. Now this is a payment link that just came that I do not have a website. I do not have anything, and I am able to get paid with just a payment link. And this just opened up a world of possibility, depending on what market you are in or what service you provide. It just makes it super easy for you to now start saying, okay, well, if I am a real estate consultant, instead of me having to create a whole bunch of websites for my team, I can sort of just plug in this payment link and then make it happen. And if I go back to my Credit Central dashboard here, just one sec. If I sort of go back to my dashboard and I reload, let me click on this. And the interesting thing is you can also turn off your payment button. So if you turn it off, so let's say you just want one person to pay for it, and then you turn it off, payment will not go through in that particular payment again. But I'll just leave it turned on. Then if you now sort of now do okay, so I want to check now. I've made a payment, right? So if I wanted to see what exactly has happened in my pay, so I can click on edit. So yeah, I can now see today for this payment, one person has tried to access it. The person paid how much? 10,000. And I can see the details I entered. So I did Babalola. This was the date. This was how much the person paid. This was what happened. I can sort of see that specific transaction for that particular payment. Right? And it just unlocks a whole world of possibility for the different things that you can do and different sort of payments that you can receive, and how easy it is for you to get things happen without necessarily having to write code or call a developer to come and make it happen. That's the first part. The second part of things that I talked about, I mentioned two things, is looking at payment buttons. And this one will take just a bit more. This is what you do. So I click on payment button here, and here you can sort of see a simple introduction that shows you exactly how payment button is. So you see that you're able to embed it on your website. So it's a button. So you have to embed it somewhere. So you can see that the 3 steps is you create your button, you copy and paste your code, and receive your payments. So I'll just go ahead and create a button. So you can see that there's 2 button types. Whether you want to create a quick payment button or a donation button. I'll just start with the first one. Then I title my button, because I'm a businessman and I'm in real estate. So my button is titled Yaba Ibutemeta Houses. And then my currency is USD. My button label, I don't know how to put any button. I can see what's happening as I'm changing anything here. So if I say blue button, you can see that it changes, that we already have pre-selected button types that makes it easy for you. So whether it is black button with credo icon, or blue button with credo icon, or black button with pay icon, and then I can say pay for your house. So as you are making the change, you are sort of seeing a preview of how your button will appear where you are sort of using it. And then for my amount, let's say, of course, it's a house that I'm buying. So let's say it's 20,000 per year. And then next, and I can see that the fields I want the button to display is email, phone number, customer name, customer email, customer phone number. If I add another field, date of birth, I can put it. And then you can see also in the preview how those fields will appear. And then once I click on next, I'm able to review all of the things that I have. So I'm able to review both what's it called?
Button details and customer details.
So I'm able to ask for whatever details that I want to have, and I'm able to sort of review all of those details. And then I see all of the things I have had, email, phone number, name. Email, phone number, and name is sort of compulsory because you are taking payments and you want to be able to assign that this person is who paid for this. And then because I added the extra date of birth field, and I can see the button preview here, and then I create the button, right? So I have created the button and I can see it here, a Butimeter house. So let's say whatever platform your website is built on, WordPress, Wix, or anything at all. And yeah, you can see that you can either copy the script or you can view the button. I'll go ahead and first view the button, and I can sort of see some of the details that I've entered before. The button ID, what I'll just do is I'll copy the code for the button. Yeah, copy script. Now, I can see that this is the HTML script that I need to copy for me to use the button. And I can also configure the redirect website. That is where I want, once somebody pays with the button, where do I want them to redirect to? So let's say I want them to go to google.com. And you see that once I click on redirect, it sort of adds it to this HTML here that the button should redirect here. I can also configure my payment receipt. This is a feature that is coming shortly, such that if you want to configure your payment receipt in terms of whether you want your receipt to be sent to multiple places or after payment has been made by a button, you can make that happen from here. So I just copied this code and I will now go and put it on a quick sandbox that I'm just about to create. So I just want to use this basic HTML editor from W3 schools, right? And once I run my code, right, this is the code. So I'm assuming that I'm doing this with that you are sort of putting it on your own website, because I do not have a test website that I want to use today. I'm just going to use an online tool that you're able to just sort of put an HTML code and see how it would output. So this gives me, you can see that once I run it, I get this. And because you know that the button has a particular slug, and don't forget, the details that I put on the button is I put a Butimeter houses as the name. The prices is 20,000, and I'm able to see the customer details that I asked for, the date of birth feed that I asked for. So I can say, my name is Sadiq, my email is because it has already detected my location as Nigeria. So even if I try to, let's say, and I proceed, right? I'm able to also now say my transaction has proceeded. Let me now then make payments. So this is going to be happening on your own website. If this was on your own website, so this is assumed that this button is on your website and all of this thing is happening on your website. As you can see, let's try to open Google, but because of I was using a sandbox and Google does not go in this test environment, you can see that it tried to go to Google that I say she will redirect to after payment, but it refused to connect. If I go back to my Credo Central dashboard, I'm able to see that when I go to payment buttons, just one sec. Okay. So I am able to see the transactions that I have done. Just give me 1 sec to bring that up. So I'm able to see so far. Yeah, under my all my payments, I can see my transactions, and I can first see the first one, that is the payment link that I paid for, right? And I can also see the payment button that I paid for, right? Just now. And I can see that the time was, just let me click on it. Yeah, okay, yeah. So I can see uh, how much my fees was that was charged. I can see how much was paid. I can sort of see that with the unique and super amazing fraud engine, I can also see what the fraud score is. So able to determine if my fraud score is high, it means that fraudulent cards are being used more with my transactions. And it means I should now pay attention to where your leads are coming from. And I can sort of see the summary, the details of that payment, and how the payment flow. So when I began to make the payment, when I entered my card details, when it validated it, when my payment was successful, and the order was completed. So this just shows that we just a payment button, and you can sort of put it on whether it's the website, and even with languages like Flutter and React Native, you're able to embed payment buttons or buttons into your app and then it means that you can receive payments, whether it is your app or your website or whatever platform that you're sort of dealing with. The third one is now looking at, you've looked at payment links, you've looked at payment button. It's now sort of looking at product pages. So meaning that we have all of those things. And then, so for example, me, myself, I'm a, I'm a real estate consultant, for example. So I've sold my Yaba house. I've sold my, what's it called? I've sold my Butemeta house. But I sort of want to list out all of the different houses that I have in sort of like a payment page. And so that you can go there and you can see the different houses that I have. And that is called product pages. So I sort of go to, unlike the same commerce tools that Credo has, I go to all products and I'm able to now see add new products. And because it's a physical product that I'm selling, and my product is called, let's say it's Bariga House, and I can sort of look for my category for my product. Oh, okay, there's a search. Of course, because I am selling, what's it called? Not a real house, obviously, because you can't get a house for 20,000. So I select building toys and I say, this is my, so I don't put that and I say my currency is NGN, cost per item is, let's say I'm selling it for 100,000 because I want to do, okay, sorry, because so let's say Yeah, so let's say I want to do sales and sell it for 90,000, right? I'm doing discounts. And then of course I can add images here because I don't have image of my house. And the interesting thing is that I can also add a stock. So meaning that if I have 10 quantities of this house available for sale, and I can also say continue selling when out of stock. So what these two settings does is if I have 10 of these houses available, it means that if you come, I don't have to sort of manage inventory. Once 10 people pay for this thing, immediately says this product is out of stock. However, if I tick this box, maybe I can also order new houses from one of our customers, one of our merchants, and I don't necessarily have to sell all of them now. If I tick this field, it means that even if I have 10, if I've made 10 sales, I can now still continue to sell. So meaning that I can continue to sell even when I'm out of stock. And then I sort of click on next, and then I can add tag so that it's easy for my product to be found. So I can say tags like house, and then just one sec. So we have tags like, oh, I need to have added a tag before in my account. So I can sort of add tag here. And once I add tag, I can sort of also set variation. So whether my variation is in terms of size, by default, we have size and colors because with the kind of product that most of our merchants deal with, is typically around size and colors. That's usually different. So whether you're selling a shirt and is color white or brown or whatever, and then you can also add custom variation. So the user is able to select what variation that they want of that particular product. But because it's a house, there's no variation. So I just click on next, and then I just look at all of these things. So assuming I add multiple variants of my product, I'll be able to see how many copies of what particular variant I add. And then once I check that, I can look at shipping, because of course this product does not have shipping. I'm not going to send you the house that you just bought or ship it to you. So I'll just leave it as it is and then save it. Once I save it, I can see that the first product that I have is my Bariga house under this category. And I can sort of also see the link to it. I can duplicate the product. Another interesting thing is that I can also decide to sell this product on social media. So if I wanted to sell it on Instagram, for example, I can use this sell on socials to sort of click on the link and then sell it on social, and I can delete the product. However, I'll just copy the link of this product and go to a new tab and put the link. Don't forget, I did not have a picture. So the picture is supposed to be here, but I can see all of the details that I put here. So the Bariga house, the prices, I can select variations and quantity. I can also put, maybe I want to pass a specific message to what's it called? I'll pass a specific message to this order and say, for my house, I want it to be painted black. I want it to be painted white. And I can also see the full house description that I have for this particular house. Pay with Credo, meaning that I can now make it. That's why my price is $1.6 million. But I'll just go back to my shop and go back to my platform and add another product. Now, the interesting thing is that with product pages, you do not necessarily just have to sell a physical product. You can also sell a digital product. So I'll try the digital product approach this time around. Now, for my digital product, I'm a real estate agent. So a digital product that I sell is I'm selling my real estate ebook. And then it's a book. And yeah, of course, you can also add, it is a book, just one second. In this book, the art and knowledge, I was able to scale my rental business to a real best. With this, I am able to be, being able to build multiple houses in different parts of the country. Snag this and get started on this journey with me today. So this is my book and this is my description. Of course, I do not have product image. So yeah, that this one does not exist. What Credo also does for you is it sort of also help you manage the product link. So the book, of course, is going to have a PDF, for example. So with this, I can also now manage and undo restriction and making sure that I want this person to get this book once. I can make it happen with this product restriction. But let's see, I select my cost per item because the book is, I want to make the book, I want a lot of people to gain from the book. I make it 100 Naira and then I'm selling for 50 Naira because I'm a nice guy. And then I can select how many times I want people to download it once. How many number of days do I want before the download link expires once? So Credo by itself can undo how many times. So you don't have to think about, so instead of thinking about when somebody has bought a book, I don't want you people to download it 2 times. I want to be sending the book to them manually, one after the other. Imagine they are transferring to you and they are now sending them the money one after the other. That's a whole lot of work. But with this, easily and really easily, you can sort of now just get what's it called, the number of downloads that you want it to be, the number of days before you want the link to expire, and you can just sort of save all of that. Okay, there's a problem. So you can see here that general is blinking. I'm supposed to put a link here. So give me 1 sec. Let me get a book. Let me just check my computer. Okay, so I have a file here. So I assume this is my book. I next it. Okay, now you can see that my ebook is there. I can see the price. My Barriga house is there. I can see the price. I can sort of see what's it called? I can sort of see my 2 products that I have added. Now, all of those things, just 1 sec. Now, for my real estate book, I can also copy the link and then go here. And now I can see that, okay, this is the 1 sec. Oh, I did not put all my details. So you can see that this is the book that I have put. I can sort of enter my quantity. I can select my payments, add whatever payment model that I wanted to, that I want to make payments, add my shipping details, add my contact information, and then proceed to payment. And what this thing sort of now shows is, let me just clear my tab. what the two things are all of these things that now show is that instead of you now having to manually, whether you want to have to manually create all your payment links one after the other, easily with this, you can, with this, you can sort of now even select everything and decide to sell them on social, or you can even delete them as the case may be. But I'm just going to uncheck it there. You can also export all the transactions for this particular what's it called products that you have here. You can also import your product by CSV. So let's say you have all of those products that you've had. Just please give me one sec. So you have, let's say, for example, for me, I just have two products. Or you have, let's say, 1,000 products. You can't be creating them one after the other to add to your product page. So you can just now import, and you can see that there's a sample CSV template that you can sort of pick, and then you can now sort of now use and impute, and then now use that to import all of your products. And then you can also cancel, and you can also go back to, and then so just a quick recap. Let me just, yeah, back. So you can see that you have payment links, which for those particular use cases, you just want to get paid for a particular thing, and the multiple people can use that payment link. And you can also enable or disable it. You can copy the link, you can share the link, you can edit the link. We have payment buttons where you can sort of also do similar things, except that you are copying and pasting it on a particular website. And then we have product pages where you can create all your multiple products and sort of now put all of those products together inside, sort of put all of those products together, and then now be able to see all of the products that you have. The interesting thing is that we have and on top of all of this, as you have seen earlier, there's a super amazing fraud engine that also now rates each of the transactions that you have, and now sort of point out which one is, what's it called? Which one is doing, and point out which one is doing, what's it called? Which one is the transactions that you need to pay attention to, and the transactions that are good to go and will not cause problems. And then you can also now sort of see all of the different transactions that you have here and be able to now track, okay, this is the status of this transaction, and you can see the different fraud score of each of the transactions. Okay, so that's a, and then it now depends on whatever, what's it called? It now sort of depends on where you are coming from and what exactly is the use case for your product to now determine which one would now work for you best, and which one will work for you best and serve your use case the best. And of course, we just had the product demo where I walk you through how you can sort of make this happen right inside of the Credo platform without you needing any third-party tool or third-party service to make it happen. And some of the different use cases that you can also point back to is you sort of want to manage what's it called, your supply chain. So you have all of this multiple, so you have a mobile app, for example, and then you're ordering your goods or your food or your meal. Low code and no code tool can now help you manage and mitigate whatever data entry errors that you are going to have, making sure that your files are digitized, and then also now creating custom solutions for supply chain as the case may be. And then I think for me personally, the most interesting thing about no code and no code tools is really about the user interface and being able to replicate with minimal to no effort. So whether you're trying to do something on a, what's it called? You're trying to do something on a desktop or a curved screen like mine, or a mobile phone, you're able to just make that happen without too much of a fuss and using minimal effort. Okay, so we have come to the end of the quick webinar. Thank you everyone for joining. I know we've covered a lot of things. And just to do a quick recap, whether you're a business owner or you're a product manager or you're a developer or you're a designer, whatever phase or whatever sector that you sort of, or category that you are in, it's really easy for you to get payments, whether you are coding or not, using the Credit Central's platform. So you have payment links, payment buttons, payment pages. That sort of makes it easy for you without you even having to touch a line of code. Okay, I did touch a line of code when I was trying to copy the payment button, but you get what I mean. And it's really important and essential for you to be able to do all of this. Okay, so I'll be taking questions now. And also, please join the Credo Central's community. Join Credo's community. So if you have questions, inquiries, or you can sort of join the Credo's community. The link is on the screen, Credo, slack.credocentral.com. And if you have any questions, please do an email or just ask of the community, and somebody from the team will definitely be in touch to answer whatever questions that you have. Okay, so let me